Today we're heading out to a unique community called the Springs Estates, which is an equestrian style community in the center of town. Now, bear in mind, there's not a ton of equestrian in there. I think on the left-hand side, I wanted to point out that there's a walking trail over here, and that goes all the way to the park within the community, and it goes all throughout town. It's pretty amazing. So you have this unique access to all that. And I think another thing I really like about the community is the fact that it's centrally located, so you can get anywhere from this. All your shopping's nearby, hospitals are nearby. There's a great gym, Summit Gym, which is just up the street. Makes this a great community. So we're getting ready to turn in now. You notice it has some nice landscaping in the front. Makes the community feel a little bit nicer, a little bit more upper scale. We're gonna cruise through. We're gonna go left here and up Via Linda Way, and this is the side over here where there is some equestrian. You won't be able to tell there's equestrian back here. It's behind the house. There's a big equestrian area back there. Folks have bigger lots, but you get an idea of what that community looks like. Some of these homes have kind of more of a farmhouse, craftsman style look on this side of the community, but there's lots of different variations of styles within the community. Everything from a craftsman to a farmhouse to a French farmhouse. One of the things you might notice about this community, it's been here for a little while and it's very developed. You'll see lots of trees, beautiful grass in here. A lot of the newer neighborhoods, they've started eliminating some of the grass, which to me is kind of unfortunate. I like the grass feel. I know some people like that desert-scape look, but this looks awesome to me. It just feels very traditional. It feels like the kind of community that everyone would want to live in. Everybody, I feel like, deserves to live in a neighborhood like this at some point in their life. Kind of reminds me of the neighborhood I grew up in as a kid, and it just feels nice. I'm going to turn left here. We're going to take a real quick look at the park here. You may notice a lot of the 3-car garages and big garages, extra parking space on the side. A lot of these lots are a little bit bigger. They allow for some of that, which is kind of nice. So over to the left of me, you'll see a nice park. It's kind of quiet right now because it's middle of summer. It's 102 degrees, and there's not many people that want to be out there. But this connects. You might be able to look past that a little bit. I'm going to turn up this road here where the park is, and you can kind of see some of the equestrian stuff behind here. We'll take a look. If you happen to live in here and want to have your horse kept here, there's a possibility of having your horse kept with some of these other neighbors up here that maybe would keep their horses here. So you don't have to live in a neighborhood where there's tons and tons of horses around. Everybody's got a farm. You can live in a nice residential neighborhood, but just have the horses nearby. So if you want to go on a quick ride or anything like that. You may notice the trail there too, which connects, allows people to ride out through the community, maybe on the bike, or even just on a hike or run. But just a nice, quiet park there. The homes in here range price point wise from about $600-ish to about $2 million. I think that's pretty typical. I took a peek on the MLS and I noticed that the homes that had sold over the last 18 months were only about 4, and they ranged in about that price point. There's only one home that's on the market right now in this neighborhood. It's a little over $1 million right now. They don't come on the market very often here. This is a highly coveted community. People don't typically want to give up their lots here. They don't want to sell their home. They like it here. So if you can get in this community, if you can afford to live in this community, you definitely want to seek it out. I'm just going to drive up through this little circle here. I call it a cul-de-sac where I'm from. But here in Utah, they call these circles, which is different for me. But it is nice. They have a number of these within the community, which makes it feel a little bit nicer to have this because you're kind of off the road a little bit. You have that sense of safety maybe because you're not on a main road, people are driving through. You may have saw the folks with the golf cart as we were cruising by. That was kind of interesting. You'll see a little bit of that throughout the neighborhood from time to time. And it appears here that there is, or at least they allow, there's a basketball hoop. So it looks like they may allow basketball hoops, which they don't always allow in every neighborhood. You might find that interesting, but neighborhoods where maybe you have an association where they don't like that, kind of common throughout St. George area. So that's something you want to think about if you have kids and they like to play basketball. Sometimes they'll have a hoop at the park, which is kind of nice, but not a lot of people like the basketball hoops banging and making all kinds of noise around their neighborhood. So looks like this might be okay, assuming that they legally can do that according to the HOA in the community. Sure, there's some covenants in here in this community here. So let's just cruise through here a little bit. Over to my right here, you see that there's some bigger homes, and we might be coming up out of the springs here. This area here is adjacent to the springs, and it was a newer area where a lot of other homes have been built, and you can see there's a humongous home here. So if you're like, well, I can't get in the springs, but maybe I can get in the neighborhoods next to it, this is maybe a good opportunity for you here. See, there's a nice Mediterranean style home there. More of a clean look there on the left. Also kind of almost Mediterranean, just no stone. You may notice there's a home here where they're doing some remodeling on that home, putting a wall out front and everything. And so that brings up a good point, though. Some of the homes here have been here a while, and if you do purchase an older home in a neighborhood like this, things aren't going to be as up to date. So you may have to hold a little bit more money aside so that you can come in and make the home the way you want it. You have to decide, hey, is it worth it to spend this extra money? Also, some of the styles in the home that are here may not be up to date to your liking. So whenever you buy a home in a neighborhood like this, you're buying the home because you want to live in the location. It's a location specific thing. And so you have to set some money aside and plan to spend a little bit extra money, unless the home's been updated. And some people do that. They update the home and make it a little bit nicer prior to selling it. And then they wish they didn't sell it because they like it. So this is the reserve just behind, and this is just the back side of Springs Estates. So we're going to roll into here a second and just show you this. This has a little bit newer homes in here. You'll notice that some of them are a lot bigger too. So if you're looking for that bigger home, 2 mil plus probably, maybe some in the mills. I doubt it though. You're going to be a little bit more expensive in this region here. This is a nice location to be at. These are going to be humongous lots. A little bit newer homes, so if this is more what you're looking for, this is a great place to be. You may notice that the people that bought these have come in and put a lot of trees in here because there's not a lot of trees, like grown trees, right? So you can tell this is a little bit, early for this community here. But by the time those trees are grown, about 5 or 6 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, it's going to look a lot like the other side as far as the more mature community here. And you may notice here on the left, you'll see a home under construction, and it's a behemoth. It's a big home. It's got a 4-car garage, one of them being some sort of like a taller garage, maybe for an RV or a boat. Just gives you perspective on what the community itself is like. There's a home for sale in here, possibly. Let's take a look. So here's a home to your right. 4-car garage, beautiful home, and nice, beautiful neighborhood homes around you. So you can feel at ease knowing that the quality and craftsmanship of the homes around you are similar quality as yours. They're nice. This is maybe a good opportunity to be in the Springs area, maybe with some new construction. Again, this may not be right in the Springs. This may be considered part of the new areas that are around it, and there's a couple lots back here. So if you like to build new, there's a couple builders out here that'll take care of you and get you all squared away. A lot of this was farm area or horse property at the time, but it looks like there's a number of lots for folks that want to be in the region and you take advantage of it. If you look ahead of us there, you can see the horse stables and stuff that we'd looked at previously. They're just ahead of us, and of course the park is just in front of that. And you can see there's some lots here to give you the opportunity to come in and build your own home. Let's talk about real quickly things that are around the area. I think I did a little bit at the beginning, but there's the gym, the Summit Gym that's close by. There's the hospital that's just a few minutes up the road. And now they've got gas stations in there and restaurants and places to eat. If you want to head out to downtown St. George, you're just a few minutes away. I think there's a Target, there's Dick's Sporting Goods, and a bunch of other stores if you want to go shopping. And as far as businesses around, depending on where you work or where you want to visit, there's tons of those around us as well. So I feel like that this is a very unique neighborhood, very centrally located, that anyone can love if you can find a home in it that you like. Again, if you're building brand new and you're in the back area back here, I think you're fine. If you want to, get in a home for sure. However, if you're trying to find one in the more mature area, you got to be patient and watch out for that. Get an agent to help you keep an eye on it. So whenever a home pops up, you know about it pretty quickly. If you're interested in this neighborhood or want to explore options in other neighborhoods, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help.